Okay, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're unlocking some serious, real-world conversational survival skills in Brazilian Portuguese. Listen, we're not going to just sit here and memorize arbitrary textbook grammar rules. No way. Instead, think of this like a bit of time travel. We're going to build up your confidence to navigate your present daily routines, talk about your past work experiences, and of course, make plans for your future studies. If you're tired of freezing up in conversations and you just want to communicate smoothly, well, you're in the exact right place.
Because look, at the end of the day, learning a language is really about the people, right? It's about genuinely connecting with the diverse, vibrant faces of Brazil. And yeah, I get it. Mastering Portuguese conjugation can seem super intimidating at first glance, but honestly, it's literally just a simple pattern recognition game. Today, we're going to completely demystify those patterns so you can step out there and confidently connect with people.
So here's our roadmap for the explainer. First, the 3 verb families. Second, the present, daily routine. Third, completed past, finished actions. Fourth, conversational future, our studies. And finally, practical conversation, our dialogues.
Let's hit Section 1, the 3 verb families, understanding the foundation of Portuguese verbs.
Okay, so just like building a house requires knowing your materials, speaking Portuguese requires knowing your infinitive endings. All regular verbs actually fall into 3 families based on how they end. First up, we've got the first conjugation, the AR verbs. Think trabalhar, to work, ajudar, to help, or falar, to speak. Then we have the second and third conjugations, the ER and IR verbs, words like comer, to eat, and dividir, to divide. And here's the magic trick. Once you know the ending of a verb, you just swap it out, like a puzzle piece, to match whoever is doing the action. It's incredibly systematic.
But wait, before we start conjugating, we really need to look at modern spoken Brazilian pronouns, because there's a massive shortcut here. Notice how você, ele, ela, and a gente all share the exact same verb conjugation? In spoken, everyday Brazilian reality, they just naturally group together. So by basically sidelining the super formal, kind of outdated to and was forms, you instantly, and I mean instantly, reduce the number of conjugations you have to memorize. It is a huge win for practical, on-the-fly communication. Section 2. The present, daily routine, talking about what you do every day.
Let's anchor these rules directly to relatable routines so you can actually start using them today. Think about your typical day. You wake up, acordar. You have breakfast, tomar café da manhã. You work, trabalhar. You study Portuguese, estudar português. Notice the trend? These are all regular or verbs. We're setting up this context right off the bat because you absolutely need to be able to talk about your daily life from day one.
Now, when we look at the present tense across all 3 verb families, focusing just on the pronoun eu, which means I, reveals a seriously cool pattern. Whether you're dealing with an AR, ER, or IR verb to say I do something, you literally just drop the infinitive ending and add an O. Boom! Eu trabalho, eu como, eu divido. Then, the rest of the endings just follow the vowel of their specific family. An A for AR verbs, an E for ER verbs, and an I for IR verbs. I mean, it's perfectly logical, right? This is pattern recognition at its absolute finest. By just taking the stem of those routine verbs we talked about and attaching that universal O ending, you instantly have the power to talk about yourself. Eu trabalho de manhã, eu estudo de tarde. Just like that, you can explain your whole schedule to anyone you meet. Oh, and here is a massive cultural language hack straight from our source material. You're going to love this. Brazilians love, and I mean love, using a gente instead of nós to say we. And why is this so great for you? Well, because a gente conjugates exactly like você or ele. So instead of having to remember nós trabalhamos, you can just say a gente trabalha cedo. It makes speaking spontaneously so much easier.
Moving on to Section 3. Completed past. Finished actions. Navigating the completed past.
Okay, so now that we've totally mastered the present, let's time travel back to the past tense, the pretérito perfeito. We're anchoring this firmly in the context of work. Historically, immigration and labor are deeply intertwined in Brazil. And practically speaking, when you're navigating life as an immigrant or a professional in Brazil today, you absolutely need to be able to clearly state the tasks you've finished, the documents you've signed, or the jobs you've completed.
So, let's look at this past tense conjugation. The patterns for eu are super clear. Trabalhei, vendi, dividi. But, okay, major red flag here. There is a crucial detail you've really got to watch out for. Look at the nós form for the AR and IR verbs. nós trabalhamos, nós dividimos. They are literally perfectly identical to the present tense. I know, wild, right? You have to rely entirely on context, like dropping in the word ontem for yesterday, to let people know you're talking about the past.
These quotes from our source material totally prove the real-world application of this tense. Eu já assinei. I already signed. A empresa me contratou. The company hired me. By mastering just the eu and ele/ela past tense endings, you can instantly confirm completed administrative and professional tasks. Seriously, it's a true survival skill out there.
Section 4, Conversational Future, our studies. The conversational way to talk about tomorrow.
All right, we've conquered the past and the present. To talk about our plans, we're going to use the futuro perifrástico. Now, don't let that fancy grammatical term scare you. It's actually just a very simple conversational shortcut. You can completely skip those rigid academic future tense endings. For conversational Brazilian Portuguese, you literally just use a two-step formula. Step 1, conjugate the verb ir, meaning to go, in the present tense. Vou, vai, vamos, vão. Step 2, just slap any infinitive verb right next to it. That's literally the whole shebang.
Just look at how powerful this is. Eu vou viajar. I am going to travel. The main verb, viajar, doesn't change at all. You never have to worry about conjugating the heavy-lifting verb. This structure completely eliminates the need to learn an entire new set of complex future endings. It makes talking about your weekend plans or your future study goals an absolute breeze.
Finally, Section 5, Practical Conversation, our dialogues, putting it all together. We have our 3 timelines built out, so let's see how this all comes together into a real practical conversation. Here are 2 actual prompts from the Bones Negocios textbook dialogue. Onde você trabalha? Where do you work? Quando vocês terminam o curso? When do you all finish the course? Now I want you to pause and think right now about how you would answer these using the present and future tools we just built. Take a second, mentally form your L response.
This dialogue between Julio and Ivan reveals the ultimate goal here. Real conversational flow in action. Ivan answers about his job using the present tense, sou assistente administrativo. But then, without skipping a beat, he mixes in the conversational future we just talked about. Eu vou começar a estudar administração. I am going to start studying. This seamless mixing of timelines, that is exactly how native speakers communicate efficiently in the real world.
Which brings us right to the end of our journey today. You now possess the keys to navigate daily routines, confirm past actions, and state your future goals using the exact same patterns Brazilians use every single day. You've seen the shortcuts and you know the formulas. So here's my final question for you. Now that you actually have the tools to travel through time in Portuguese, what will your very first conversation be about? Go get out there and start talking.